you ever feel like you're on autopilot, repeating actions, almost unconsciously, whether they serve you or not? What if I told you that mastering your habits isn't about willpower alone, but about understanding a hidden psychological system that governs nearly 40% of your daily life? Prepare to unlock the secret to lasting change. Hey everyone, Harper here. Today, we're deep diving into one of the most powerful forces shaping our lives, our habits. Let's explore how they work. From the moment you wake up, hitting snooze, brushing your teeth, grabbing that first cup of coffee. Your day is a tapestry woven from countless tiny, often invisible habits. We tend to think of habits as good or bad, but in reality, they're simply efficient shortcuts your brain has developed to save energy. Imagine if you had to consciously decide every single action, every single day, from how to tie your shoes to how to navigate your commute. You'd be utterly exhausted before lunch. Our brains are incredible architects of efficiency, constantly looking for ways to automate repetitive tasks. This automation, while brilliant for mundane activities, can also be a double-edged sword. It's why we sometimes find ourselves doing things we don't want to do, or struggling to start things we know are good for us. The sheer magnitude of this unconscious behavior is truly staggering. Studies suggest that roughly 40% of our daily actions aren't conscious decisions, but rather habits playing out in the background. Think about that for a second. Almost half of your day is guided by automatic responses. This isn't just about big life choices. It's about the micro decisions that compound over time, shaping our health, our finances, our relationships, and ultimately, our destinies. Understanding this invisible power is the first crucial step towards harnessing it. It's not about fighting against your nature, but about understanding its mechanisms and then subtly redirecting them. We're not trying to become robots, devoid of conscious thought, but rather to free up our mental energy for the decisions that truly matter, by automating the positive actions that move us toward our goals. And here's the crazy part. Once you grasp this fundamental truth, the ability to sculpt your future becomes not just possible, but surprisingly straightforward. So how exactly does this automation happen? The brilliant researcher Charles Duhigg popularized the concept of the habit loop in his book, The Power of Habit. It's a simple, yet profoundly powerful three-part cycle that underpins every single habit we possess. First, there's the cue. This is the trigger, the spark that tells your brain to go into automatic mode and which habit to use. It could be anything: a specific time of day, a particular location, a certain emotion, other people, or even the completion of another action. For example, seeing a bag of chips cue might trigger the urge to snack. Second, we have the routine. This is the behavior itself, the physical, mental, or emotional action you take in response to the cue. In our chip example, the routine is reaching for the bag, opening it, and eating the chips. This is the part we typically focus on when we talk about habits, but it's actually just one piece of the puzzle. And finally, there's the reward. This is the positive outcome your brain gets from completing the routine. It's the feeling of satisfaction, pleasure, or relief that reinforces the loop and makes your brain want to repeat the behavior next time the cue appears. For the chips, the reward might be the salty taste, the crunch, or a temporary distraction from boredom. This reward mechanism is absolutely crucial because without it, your brain wouldn't see any benefit in repeating the action, and the habit wouldn't form. The loop gets stronger each time it's repeated, eventually becoming so ingrained that it feels almost impossible to stop. Understanding these three components, cue, routine, and reward, isn't just academic. It's the master key to both building new habits and dismantling old ones. Once you can identify each element in your own habits, you gain incredible leverage. It's like seeing the gears of a clock, allowing you to tinker with its mechanism rather than just watching the hands move. Now that we understand the habit loop, how do we use this knowledge to our advantage and build those positive habits we've always wanted? The key is to intentionally design each part of the loop. Let's start with the cue. Make your desired habits obvious. Want to drink more water? Leave a full glass on your desk every morning. Want to exercise? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. The easier it is to see or encounter the cue, the more likely you are to initiate the routine. Next, for the routine, focus on making it incredibly small and easy to start. This is where the concept of atomic habits shines. Instead of committing to a 30-minute workout, aim for 2 push-ups. Instead of meditating for 10 minutes, try 60 seconds. The goal in the beginning isn't intensity, it's consistency. You want to make it so simple that you literally cannot say no. The momentum from completing even a tiny action is powerful. And for the reward, make it immediate and satisfying. This is often the trickiest part, especially for habits with delayed gratification, like saving money. So, you might need to create an artificial reward in the early stages. For example, after those 2 push-ups, you might immediately listen to your favorite song or allow yourself a small, healthy treat. The reward tells your brain, hey, that was good. Let's do that again. Remember, the initial reward doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to be a positive signal to your brain. This intentional structuring of the cue, routine, and reward allows you to bypass the need for endless willpower and instead leverage the very mechanisms your brain already uses for habit formation. It's about working with your brain, not against it, to slowly but surely ingrain those desired behaviors until they become second nature. Just as we can build new habits, we can also dismantle old, unhelpful ones, often by manipulating the same habit loop. The trick here is not to eliminate the cue or the reward entirely, because those urges are incredibly powerful and persistent. Instead, the most effective strategy is to change the routine. Think about a bad habit you have, let's say mindlessly scrolling social media when you're bored. The cue might be a moment of downtime or a feeling of boredom. The routine is opening the app and scrolling. The reward is a temporary distraction or a hit of novelty. To break this, You can try to keep the cue and the reward, but insert a new, more positive routine. So, when you feel that cue of boredom, instead of grabbing your phone, you might grab a book, do a quick stretch, or make a cup of tea. The key is to have a replacement behavior ready, one that still provides some form of reward, even if it's different from the original. Another powerful approach is to make the cue invisible or difficult to access. If your phone is the trigger for endless scrolling, put it in another room or turn off notifications for certain apps. The harder it is to access the cue, the less likely the routine will be triggered. Similarly, you can make the routine itself more difficult. If you want to stop snacking on unhealthy food, don't keep it in the house. Make it so that engaging in the bad habit requires significant effort. This friction is a powerful deterrent. By systematically identifying the cue, routine, and reward of your undesirable habits, you gain the power to interrupt the cycle and consciously choose a different path. It's not about brute force. It's about smart design and strategic intervention. You're not fighting the urge. You're redirecting the energy, often overlooked, yet incredibly potent, is the role of our environment in shaping our habits. We tend to think of habits as purely internal struggles, a battle of willpower. But in reality, our surroundings are constantly nudging us towards certain behaviors, often without us even realizing it. Think about it. If your kitchen counter is always cluttered with snacks, you're far more likely to grab one than if it's clean and empty. If your gym bag is packed and by the door, you're more likely to work out than if it's buried in the back of your closet. Our environment is filled with cues that either support or sabotage our goals. The good news is that we have the power to intentionally design our environment to work for us, not against us. This is often referred to as architecture of choice or environmental design. To build good habits, make the cues for those habits obvious and accessible. Want to eat healthier? Keep fruits and vegetables at eye level in your fridge and put unhealthy snacks out of sight in a cupboard or pantry. Want to read more? Keep a book on your bedside table instead of your phone. To break bad habits, make the cues for those habits invisible or difficult. If you struggle with watching too much TV, remove the remote from the living room or unplug the TV when not in use. Small changes to your immediate surroundings can have a disproportionately large impact on your behavior, often requiring far less willpower than simply trying to resist temptation. It's about setting yourself up for success, making the desired action the path of least resistance. Our brains are lazy in the best possible way. They follow the easiest path. So, if the easiest path is the one that leads to good habits, you're already halfway there. It's a silent, powerful partner in your journey towards self-mastery, constantly reinforcing the choices you want to make. Building and breaking habits is an ongoing journey, not a destination. While the initial stages require intentional effort in designing your habit loops and environment, true mastery comes from consistency and continuous refinement. One of the most critical aspects of long-term habit mastery is patience. Habits don't form overnight, and they certainly don't disappear instantly. It takes time, repetition, and a willingness to embrace imperfection. Don't let a missed day derail your progress. Simply get back on track the next day. Remember, consistency beats intensity in the long run. Another powerful tool is tracking your progress. Simply marking an X on a calendar for each day you complete a habit can provide a huge boost of motivation and a visual reminder of your streak. This creates a new reward, the satisfaction of seeing your progress accumulate. Also, be prepared for slips or relapses. They are a normal part of the process. The key isn't to never slip, but to have a plan for how you'll recover when you do. Forgive yourself, learn from the experience, and get back to it. Finally, understand that your habits are a reflection of the person you believe yourself to be. If you want to become a healthy person, start by acting like one, even in small ways. Each time you perform a positive habit, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. Over time, these votes accumulate, reinforcing your new identity. By continuously applying these principles, you're not just changing individual behaviors, you're fundamentally reshaping who you are, one tiny, consistent action at a time. It's a powerful and deeply personal evolution, orchestrated by your own understanding of the habit loop. So there you have it, the hidden science behind your daily actions. Which habit are you going to start building or breaking first? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into habit psychology helpful, please hit that like button, share this video with a friend who needs it, and subscribe for more insights into the amazing world of how things really work. And remember, your future self will thank you for the small,